Hello love, welcome back or welcome to What I Am Seeing. Today we actually are going to continue our work around the G Center series, and before I start even talking about that or getting into that, I do want to just talk very briefly about the channel and its evolution. And first and foremost, thank you for being here, especially if you've been with me since the beginning. Over this past year, the channel is 1 year old, so happy birthday to What I Am Seeing. I just want to say thank you if you've been with me since the beginning and have experienced the evolution of the channel. My conscious sun is in the gate 35, the gate of experience, and it has been a fun and definitely unexpected experience this past year, this journey through the consistency of showing up and just getting to create videos and exploring and playing with what that looks like. And I just appreciate you being here and your support. And I just want to share that I started this channel and I started out doing these types of ASMR type style videos with Quantum Human Design because I wanted to create something that I couldn't find myself, and I had been enjoying ASMR Reiki type videos for a couple of years, and through a series of things and conversations happening and for me to respond to, out of that response I decided to create the channel with the intention of creating this space and container for you to drop in, to tap in, to slow down, to take a moment for yourself, to receive, to relax, release, and receive something in these sessions. And it's about the transmission that comes through, and no matter what type of style we're doing, whether it's soft-spoken or more heavily on the ASMR elements, using crystals, if it's card readings or Reiki or whatever it is. Obviously Quantum Human Design is the base and the foundation for, it's like the main tool that I use, but I use a lot of tools and I have a lot of resources and a lot of modalities, and I wanted to be able to create this container and create this space for you to feel seen and loved and supported, and to create this community using these tools and using these resources. But it's always been about the actual energy transmission and the messages that are flowing and coming through, and that can be communicated and conveyed in many different ways. And at the heart of all of this is the purpose of What I Am Seeing is to provide this portal for you to embody your highest human and divine potential by choosing to fully be here and present with you and you with me in the impermanence, of it all. Everything is temporary, everything is impermanent. And through that portal, communicating to you the experiences in this evolutionary existence that we're in together, utilizing all of these tools that we have been given, such as Quantum Human Design, the card decks, crystals, Reiki, etc. So again, this providing this portal, this space, this container for you to come to embody your highest human and divine potential. And perhaps some of the messages and the transmissions coming through provides a bridge for you to embody that human and divine potential as you are one, and you're not one or the other. We are not one or the other. We are these divine beings, these spiritual beings having this human temporary experience. Community and connection are so important, and so I wanted to create this space and basically in a very sustainable way show up with you and for you to serve in this capacity. And serve meaning showing up in the fullest and optimal expression of who I am, not just at a human level, this character that I am, but the divine being that I am. And also to share the messages and those transmissions, but also to reflect back to you the divine being that you are. So, with that, thank you again for being here. Happy birthday to the channel, and we'll continue to see how things evolve and grow from here on out. I never want to feel like, especially I'm a time bender type in quantum human design, and I also have the 515 defined, so I truly am just energetically ebbing and flowing with life. I follow my flow. I follow what feels good, right, and correct for me, and I never want anybody to feel like they're pigeonholed or like stuck in this box and have to continue to show up in a way that doesn't feel completely aligned, but that also is not sustainable. In order for you to be successful, success can mean a lot of different things. But in order for you to feel that success and to be able to be consistent with something, it has to be sustainable. It has to give you energy and fuel you rather than suck your energy. If something is zapping your energy and just draining you, then I strongly encourage you to look at and analyze that thing and see if you need to keep doing it, or if you need to keep doing it that way. Because the things that we do, especially when it comes to our creative endeavors, it shouldn't be draining you. It should be fueling you and giving you energy and excitement. It should feel effortless, especially as a defined sacral being. Because when we're aligned and we're doing that right work, there's like endless energy there to be able to do that thing. I mean, I say that with an asterisk. I mean, you need rest, and yes, like even the time bender types and the alchemists need to recharge and regenerate, but it's that energy where you're just in flow and things come very effortlessly and very seemingly easy, so much so that you could just be in that flow and you forget to eat, right? So it shouldn't be a constant struggle and a drain on your vital life force energy. So look at the things that may be draining you and either see if you can stop doing them, or maybe you need to change the way that you're doing them. And that's what I never wanted this channel to be, something that felt draining or unsustainable. Daisy's got an itch. And I wanted to be able to, again, consistently and continuously show up in a way that feels good, that feels right and correct and in alignment. And that will vary. My conscious sun is in the gate 35, which is the gate of experience. And that can look like, if you're a third line profile, that can look like that third line energy. Third lines are the experimenters. That gate 35 energy is a lot of, I need to do the thing, or I need to do whatever it is that I'm doing and experience it. And then I tweak and maybe pivot or change or streamline or do things a little bit differently the more I have experience with that thing. I've talked about this before in, I think it was a session called The Evolution of the Channel. I think when I first showed my face on here for the first time, and I have double 18s, which 18s are the gate of realignment. So that mixed with my 35, I can look like a third line, and I'm a time bender, right? So I'm doing all the things and trying all the things and seeing what fits and feels good. And we're constantly growing, constantly changing, constantly evolving. If you're breathing, that's what you're doing. So allow yourself to play and have fun. And you're a creator. We're all creators. What are you creating? Are you allowing yourself to create? And are you allowing yourself to have the freedom to play and explore and experiment with what that looks like for you? So, without further ado, thank you again, and let's jump into talking about the gate 13, which is where we're at. I'll show you here. This is the image of the Calibration Center, the G Center in Quantum Human Design. And we've already done sessions on the gate 10, the gate of self-love, the gate 7, the gate of collaboration, the gate 1, the gate of purpose, and the gate 13 is what we're going to talk about today, which is the gate of the narrative. The gate of the narrative in Quantum Human Design. It's astrologically associated with Aquarius and biologically the liver. And the gate 13 is called the gate of the listener in traditional human design and the gate of narrative in quantum human design. So I just want to remind you or preface that you don't need to know a lick about human design or quantum human design. What the chart shows us, what a quantum human design chart shows us, is the mechanics of how you operate in form. It's an energetic blueprint. What's inside the blueprint is archetypes. It's showing us all the archetypes that we experience in form as human beings, as these divine beings in manifested form, playing out this character in this role. We get to see all of the energy archetypes, these archetypal themes that play out in the human story. So your soul came here to learn, to grow, and evolve. We have this soul curriculum, and we're playing these human characters. So there is this human story, this human curriculum playing out. And what's so fun about this is we literally have a chart that shows us the mechanics of how we operate, what type of energy we're emanating out to others, the type of energy we're receiving in, and our openness. It helps us understand ourselves better, in what kind of makes us tick, why we may feel the way that we feel. It gives us a very easy blueprint and therefore language to explain these themes that we see playing out in the world, in relationships, and all these different dynamics. And so it's one of my favorite tools to use. I love it. And Mr. Tinky just joined us. There's a storm rolling in, so he doesn't like the thunder. And Daisy barks at the thunder, so this should be interesting. So I love this tool, and I love to use this tool because, like I said, it gives us this very quick snapshot into what may be playing out in your life. And when I work with clients one-on-one and I'm looking at your personal chart, and it's very easy to speak into, depending on what you may feel challenged with or what you may feel like you're struggling with in life at a certain point in your life. It's a great tool to be able to just look into that and explain so much of what could be going on, as everything is energy. Energy is everything. And having that knowledge and that language and that understanding is so very helpful, not only for yourself, but for your relationships. So we all have all of the chart, but there are certain things based on your birth date, your birth time, your birthplace that are defined in your chart, which means that's your design, your blueprint, and how you experience the other energies that you may have open in your chart is through your interaction and experience with other people, and then the planetary transits, because when the planets, when they move through gates and they activate different gates at different times. Like the sun moves through a gate. There's 64, so there's 64 archetypal themes of the human. And the sun moves through one gate about every 7-ish days, 6 to 7 days. So that's why we all have all of the chart, because it's all there, but there's different activations at different times. And what you're born, the day that you're born, your natal chart, that doesn't change. So it's not like something is activated and then deactivates. But what you don't have activated, you can experience that energy and activation through your relationship with other people, just being in their energy, their aura, and through the planetary transits. So like I said, we're going to talk about the gate 13 today, the gate of the narrative. And we're going to tap into, so get comfortable and drop in with me. We are going to work with a piece of rhodonite today. I'll show you that in a moment. But we're going to talk about this gate 13, and this is the gate of the narrative. So if you have this defined in your chart, you are like, probably have a lot of stories. You are the story keeper, the secret keeper. People, it's fun to hear stories from people with the gate 13 who have it defined, because they'll be like, I'm standing in the grocery store, just doing my grocery shopping, and this person comes up to me and just starts telling me their whole life story. And it's like a truth serum energy. It's like people just get into your presence and just start telling you things, and they'll literally be like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. And you can be like, oh, yeah, I have the gate 13. And it's really fun actually to watch this energy. And because my best friend, one of my best friends has this, and I have the 33, which is on the other side of the channel. The channel is actually the 1333. So this is the gate right here on the G, and then there's a channel that goes up to the throat that has the 33 on the other side. So I have the 33 on my defined motorized throat, and one of my best friends has the 13. And I literally sometimes I have to catch myself sometimes, because I can tell, like, when I get into her energy, I'll just like talk times 10, and I'm like, oh my god, like, let me stop talking and let you. She'll just be listening, and I'm like, you're damn 33, you're damn 13. So I know what that energy feels like to not have it activated, and then to get into her presence. I have to be really mindful and aware of that, because you don't even realize that it's happening. So let me know in the comments if you have the gate 13 activated, if you have like stories of, or even if you have the whole channel 1333. Let me know in the comments if you're like, yes, people tell me their life stories all the time. And honestly, like, even sitting on a plane, or if you're in line waiting for something, and as much as we can joke about it, it honestly can be a big burden, because sometimes people tell you some really heavy stuff, some really heavy things, hard things, and you didn't even ask to receive that. Now you feel burdened with it. So it can feel like a lot. But what I wanted to focus on with this energy is the energy of forgiveness and narrative. So it's coming off the G center, right? The G center is our center for self, identity, love, direction. And the quality of the energy here determines what we're attracting into our life. So if the gate 13 is this energy of the narrative, what I want to ask you is, what kind of stories are you telling? What is the narrative that you're speaking about yourself, about your life, about the world, about your experiences? If you're stuck in a loop of a narrative that is not serving your highest good, and you're not conscious of that, and all you're doing is repeating that same story over and over and over and over, retelling that same story over and over and over, that could be keeping you in this victim consciousness. The storm is rolling in. You hear that thunder. So are you telling yourself a good story? Or are you continually playing out the pain, the trauma, the hurt? That narrative that you are speaking about yourself, the story that you are telling, is determining the direction, the trajectory that you are headed and going in your life, And it is also determining what you are calling into and attracting into your life. So I just want you today to be mindful of this energy, to be very tuned in and aware of this energy specifically. This is part of that storytelling energy. There's storytelling energy that lives in other places in the chart, but this is one of those places with this narrative is so important. The stories that words give meanings to things, and those meanings determine our outlook and perspective on life. And words are so powerful, as we know. It has the power to literally change our DNA. So the words that we use matter. The words that we use matter. And everything carries a frequency. So the story that you're telling, the narrative that you're speaking may need to be retold, rewritten in a new way. Breaking the pattern, breaking the loop. And sometimes what needs to happen with that is some forgiveness work. So forgiveness or not lives in this gate 13 as well. And sometimes that forgiveness means you need to forgive yourself for some things as well as other people. And forgiveness doesn't mean what happened was okay, or what that person did was okay, or what was done to me is okay. Forgiveness isn't a blanket excuse of like just smoothing over and bypassing the hurt, the betrayal, the pain, the trauma, the whatever. That's not what forgiveness does. Forgiveness just frees you and allows you to heal and not take on that event, that situation, that circumstance as an identity. You are not the things that you have done, and you are not the things that have been done to you. And in order to really believe that and embody that, sometimes we really need to get into working on forgiveness. And it's not something that you can force or push or just flip a switch and trick yourself into thinking that you've forgiven. And sometimes you can think, oh, I've forgiven myself for this. I've forgiven that person for this. And then all of a sudden you're going along and something happens and you're triggered and you're like, whoa, I thought I forgave myself for this. Or, whoa, I thought I forgave them for that. There's still some unforgiveness there. There's still some hurt, some anger, some whatever, there's still some emotions there, right? And so when things get triggered, when things get brought up to our conscious awareness, that's the whole point of it. To be like, hey, love, hey, there's still some stuff in there. I know you've worked on this, you've done so great, you've come so far, but there's a little bit more in there that we need to transmute, that we need to heal, that we need to clear, that we need to cleanse, that we need to remove, so you can just be a little bit more free. So that's what I'm inviting you to contemplate today. Is there forgiveness work that needs to be done for yourself, for others? Is that unforgiveness preventing you from telling a better story about yourself, about your relationships, about other people? Maybe there's a limiting belief, a story that you have been told that you're just literally regurgitating and repeating, that is now this well-worn looped pattern that isn't even true about you. And if that's the case, you have the power to change it, to rewrite it, literally rewrite it. This is what I thought and believed, and this is what I believe now. Literally write it with, hand to pen to paper, or type it out, or speak it out. Rewrite your new story. You're literally the divine manifested in form. You are co-creating your entire world. You're that powerful, that big, that magnificent. You can rewrite your story. And then that energy starts to shift and to change. And that starts to shift and change the direction of your life, that trajectory. And you start to raise the vibration, that frequency to a higher, more optimal level. And guess what? You start to attract what matches that into your life. And that's when everything changes. Transformation, transmutation takes place. So with that, we are going to just tap into this energy of this rhodonite, which is so beautiful. Rhodonite, even if you have a piece of rhodonite or you want to get a piece of rhodonite, this actually helps you to repair wounds of the heart. And remember, the G center is the G center, and the will center in the human design chart is the heart chakra. Okay, the heart chakra split into the G and the will. So this helps to repair wounds of the heart. It helps you to let go and forgive. It helps you to open up to love and compassion. It's like this soothing, warm, comforting hug. And it acts as a bridge between your heart and root chakras. So I want to share with you, if you want to close your eyes, I want to share with you this poem from Moon Omens about the rhodonite and its energy and how it can support you. Deep within the chambers of your heart, you will feel the echoes of my grace, the warmth of my burning passion, and the strength of my support. I will guide you back to wholeness, carving a trench for stuck emotions to flow, helping you heal and finally let it go. I am a well of forgiveness to leap into, a rope to pull you out of the dark. I hold the pink flame of compassion to burn through your trauma and fears, and a black thread of protection to mend the holes, cracks, and tears. I bandage your wounds and repair your old scars, showing you the eternal strength of your heart. And so with that, love, there is also a quantum essence from the Potion Lady for the G Center, and these quantum essences work on your subtle bodies, your subtle emotional, mental body. And I love using these and working with these. She makes different potions, different quantum essences for different things. And I just use these as part of my daily routine, kind of getting ready either in the morning or at night before bed, and it does its thing. It knows where it needs to work energetically on your energy body. So I will link to this in the description. I love to support her and her work, and I just think these are so beautiful and they're one of a kind. And we've used them a lot here on the channel. And these have been a big part of just the work that I do in my own life personally. And this one is specifically for the G Center. So I can work on all of these archetypes in your G. So remember, love, the story that you're telling, the narrative that you're speaking, sets the tone and direction for your life. A lot of us don't realize the power that we have and how powerful your words are and how powerful this mindset and perspective is. And this is why we do the energy work, to clear the limiting beliefs, to clear and deprogram all the conditioning, all those old stories that you've been told that aren't actually in alignment with the truth of who you are. You are the creator of your story, of your life. You are co-creating with the universe. Every day you have the power to rewrite your story. You do have the power to change the things that you don't like, or that don't feel good, or that are not serving you, or that are not aligned in your life. You have the power and the ability to change, to rewrite words or spells. Be conscious and aware of each spell, each word that you're casting. And the story that you're telling from your heart is what is allowing you to step into the fullness of who you are and take up your rightful place and space in the divine cosmic plan here as part of the collective. So love, if this resonated, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment below and let me know, do you have the gate 13 defined? Let us know some stories there. And are you going to be working on rewriting your story or contemplating this, being more mindful and aware of the words that you're speaking? So feel free to leave a comment about that. If you don't want to share, you can just leave an eyeball emoji in the comments as well, if this resonated. So with that, love, you are all set to continue on in your day or to fall into a deep, restful, restorative, and sound sleep to wake up tomorrow renewed, refreshed, and reknown. May you remember, you are loved, you are light, you are love. I know who you are in truth, I know what you are in truth, and I know how you serve in truth. You are free, you are free, you are free. I am you, you are me, and we are one.